This is a question for all Malaysians. Do you remember these characters?
Tahukah anda bagaimana cerita sang kancil menipu buaya?
Or even these characters?
Putih, kau ingat dengan kau menyanyi tu boleh kenyang?
These are only some of the characters that make up the tapestry of Malaysian folklores. And through the years, these stories have been retold across various medias. But in a study regarding Malaysian folklores, the graph shows that the appearances of these characters across various medias have been falling at a steady pace. Perhaps our own local heroes aren't enough for the screen. Or perhaps their presence is on the stage. This is Dondang Dongeng, and they're on a mission to make folklore cool again for the current generation. And the way they're approaching it might just be the key to connecting the past with the future. KUPAS is a series where we take a deep dive into the Malaysian performing arts scene as part of the BOH Cameronian Arts Awards legacy. To understand the significance of Dondang Dongeng, we have to go back a few years, a few hundred years. The history of Malaysian folklore dates back as early as the 14th century. These stories hold a significant role in society, specifically in nurturing the people on how to conduct ourselves. On the surface, these tales may seem far-fetched and mystical, but beneath it all are lessons and moral values that make up the structure of our culture. Through the ages, these stories have been the basis for our society to understand the heritage of the past, to maintain the values that make us who we are. And Dondang Dongeng understands that. The musical group began in 2023 as a project from Place Space Productions and RMP, with a mission that aims to reintroduce Malaysian folklore to the younger generation. By transforming age-old tales into vibrant performances, capturing the interest and imagination of both young and old. To achieve this, the group focused on two aspects: the stories and the music. At the helm of creative director and music producer Melina William and music director Irina Taib, they have read over 200 stories and limited it down to these 6 and crafted them into a cohesive, overarching story.
For us specifically, we knew we wanted to present something that had elements from tradition, but also to keep it relevant for our young audience. So whatever decisions we make, we always make sure it doesn't veer from that. We want to have it, the traditional aspect, to have its proper representation. So we brought in people who are experts.
In order to retain the cultural roots, Dondang Dongeng worked closely with traditional instruments such as the rabana, the gambos, and the seruling to keep a nostalgic touch. The songs were paired with modern beats and contemporary arrangements, creating a soundscape that's both fresh and familiar. On top of the musicians, the group also features a member known as the Penglipulara. He is the main storyteller whose role is to guide the audience through these stories.
I mean, the dynamic of the music that we have in the shows is like, we have very fun and ha 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 ha, kids sing along, but also we have something like very deep, you know. I mean, it's not just for kids, truly it's for everyone.
Now, how do you make a centuries-old story engaging for the new generation? Understanding the importance of visual engagement, the production team crafted elaborate sets and costumes, animated backdrops, and light coordination. The result is a visual feast that invites children into these magical worlds. But the most important aspect is what made the stories alive, which was the music. Dondang Dongeng figured out in order to attract newer generation, they needed to infuse modern and contemporary elements into the mix. Within the 6 stories, they have genre-bent the music by infusing modern genres such as rock, hip-hop, and ballads, while still maintaining the traditional elements as the backdrop of the whole composition.
Based on the character, because like Si Tanggang, he's this cocky young boy, so like he can rap, he has the attitude, right? And then like Sang Kancil, I just wanted an anthem just to celebrate Sang Kancil.
Yeah.
So why not do a rock song?
Yeah. And then
that kind
like
of stuff.
Ibu is like a someone very sad and vulnerable.
Yep.
So it's a ballad.
Yep.
Dondang Dongeng allows the stories to be engaging for a modern audience while still maintaining the lessons that these stories provide. This immersive experience not only entertains but educates, instilling cultural values and stories in the minds of the young, making it not only just relevant but cool again.
We are happy to see so many children who will be experiencing live theatre performance here today, some for the very first time.
To think that, for example, if my kids came to watch it, they wouldn't be like, oh, this feels really strange because it's not sounds that we heard before. They would just take it all in, and then because they're watching the musicians on stage, they might ask questions. But it needs to feel like it comes from an authentic and natural place.
As different generations sit side by side, they aren't just watching a performance, they're sharing an experience that connects them to their cultural roots.
The approach was not to like force an idea on young people. It was more like, hey guys, this is some new music and here are some stories you haven't heard, and they just come along for the ride.
After telling the stories to the kids and seeing their reaction, it shows that these stories are important.
Yeah.
And like tradition is important, and they are curious about it, means there is something to it.
The reason why performing arts is so important, especially this kind of show, is because the children are not just sitting and watching. They're not just a passive listener. In this context, we are asking them to be part of the music, to sing along, to clap along. This is more important than I can even convey to you. If they go away and sing those songs, then our job is done, actually, in this moment.
Dondang Dongeng is a great initiative for our heritage. But there are still hundreds of folklores to be told. And who will tell those stories next? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into Malaysia's performing arts scene.